Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Javed Ahmadar, teacher higher secondary school Khamriyal. In our previous class I gave you a brief introduction of metals and non-metals. Today we are going to discuss two important physical properties of metals, that is malleability and ductility. First of all we will see what malleability is. Metals are malleable. This first property of metals, that is metals are malleable. It means that metals can be drawn into beaten metals can be beaten into thin sheets with a hammer without breaking. For example, if we take a block of iron and beat it with a hammer, we will find that the piece of iron metal turns into a thin sheet without breaking, and this property is called malleability. Gold and silver, these are some of the best malleable metals. Aluminium and copper are also highly malleable metals. All these metals can be beaten into very thin sheets called foils. All these metals can be beaten into very thin sheets called foils. For example, silver metal can be beaten into very thin sheets called silver foils, and these silver foils are used for decorating sweets. Similarly, aluminum foils are used for packing food items. So this was the first important property of metals. Most of the metals are highly malleable. Second property is metals are ductile. It means that metals can be drawn or stretched. Metals can be drawn or stretched into thin wires. For example, the metals like copper, aluminium, magnesium are available in the form of thin wires. Gold AU is the most ductile metal. For example, if we take 1 gram of gold, it can be drawn, only 1 gram of gold, it can be drawn into a thin wire of about 2 kilometer long. So by this you can imagine how ductile gold is. Copper and aluminum metals, they are also ductile. They're also highly ductile. Both copper and aluminum, they can be drawn into thin wires, and these wires we usually use in our homes as electric wires. For example, in our homes we have aluminum wires as well as copper wires. So this was the second property of metals, that metals are ductile, and this property which allows metals to be drawn into thin wires is called ductility. Similarly, the property of metals which allows them to be beaten into sheets is called malleability. So today we discussed two important properties of metals, malleability and ductility. Inshallah, in our next class we will discuss some other physical properties of metals. So, assalamu alaikum, stay home, stay safe.